Oh, hi everyone. How are you? Are you getting all of your presents bought, getting ready for Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate? Um, I am going to try to do some baking before I become the one armed woman Thursday. I do um, some pretty darn good butter cookies. um, like a recipe that has been handed down from one grandma to one grandma to one grandma. So it's, from like the turn of the century when butter was not a bad thing. Well, what the? And freaking groceries now. 4 sticks of butter is $5.69, and that's for the generic. And then freaking a dozen eggs, not even Eggland's Best, are $4. So I'm like, what in the world? How I I'm just shocked at how expensive everything is. So just getting the baking things, I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Cuz I've heard of you can freeze eggs. So when they're on sale, you're supposed to crack them into ice cube trays and then keep them in the freezer and then just, pop one out whatnot per recipe. And eggs have always been so cheap. I'm like, why would anybody? Well, now that they're freaking almost $4 a dozen or $4 and more, well, you bet I'm going to start cracking eggs and freezing them. My God. It's just so much. I did a little retail therapy. I didn't think I needed any more clothes until I went in, and um, I love Torrid. Um, I mean, and you have to be careful because some of their stuff is gaudy. They have somebody in charge of their designs that doesn't get it, and she thinks that because you're overweight, then you want to have skulls and skeletons, and that's pretty much all you want, and more skulls. And I mean, you can pull off some skulls and stuff, around Halloween, but skull prints are kind of hard to pull off any other time. So I liked it before she took the helm. There was some really good stuff when Torrid first came out. Now it's kind of pick and choose, but because everything's so freaking expensive, there was so much at Torrid because nothing is getting sold. So I had fun. I bought 4 shirts. Wasn't in the mood to try them on. Thought they'd be fine. Got home, found that only 2 of them fit. So like, oh, so I have to go and take them back. But you know what? Then it's only going to be that I only spent half of what I thought I spent. Right? We got to keep looking at the plus side of things here, not plus size. So I am drinking a sugar cookie almond milk espresso. Got that from this Starbucks while I was out shopping. Um, I got a blackberry lemonade from the gas station. I love blackberry lemonade. It's even better than the strawberry. And it's actually real sugar, so there's like 1,200 calories in this bitch. But I even it out by using the mix of the strawberry lemonade later. So, only halfway damaging my new dental work here. So anyway, in one of the comments last night, you guys might have seen, someone said that they have not heard of the officers strangling the dolls before. The person said, "You have an interesting copy of the Discovery. I've never heard this before." And somebody else said something I can't remember else. It was like, what copy are you looking at? This is exciting to me because I think I have my hot little hands on the unredacted Discovery. I got the one that was posted first. The other ones were posted at later dates. All of the ones are 1,960 pages. There was nothing that I could see that stood out between the two. So it's really cool. If you're hearing other details in this too, please let me know, because I think it's possible that what we're seeing here is the unredacted, and that's where we got a lot of these handwritten notes in there. Those were probably just part of the things were redacted, and then more phone numbers and stuff were redacted, probably because people were like, why are people calling me? So anyway, without further ado, here we are, Watts Discovery, Part 7. And we're going to start on this page 186. Now, it had a bunch of handwriting goolabaloo here on 186. I'm munching on saltines, I'm sorry. Like I say, I couldn't stand creators that did that, and now I'm doing it. Maybe it's something contagious. Maybe to be a creator, you need to munch on something. Well, that just sounded obscene, I'm sorry. Okay, so, more handwriting stuff. It says 13th target, Chris, 5/16/85. Something happened at the Target, and it doesn't say what. I think this is referring to that caller that said that there was somebody at Target with the 2 kids, and that one kid had a long braid, so they knew it wasn't that. And now it says Frank, and it says Sandra Rusick, so you know they're calling every freaking hour. Not that they could get out on a plane and come on out, instead of firing up the telephone lines. I mean, in this instance where she was presuming they were dead, let's get that through our heads for a second. She is calling the police and has the wherewithal to be saying the unthinkable, like the unthinkable that turns our stomachs to this day when we even read it. And she is calling with no emotion, saying these terrible things that she thinks have happened to her daughter and granddaughter. And she's just calling the cops, telling them this and that, what they need to do and how they need to do it. Instead of getting on a plane and coming and if this happened to, if my daughter and granddaughter, like I say, let's just do a pose scenario, that if I was in the ruse position, I would have gotten on a flight and I would have, well, quite frankly, I would have went and twisted somebody's nutsack that I thought was responsible for it until they gave up every single detail of what happened. And then I don't think I'd give up twisting. I don't understand why they didn't get out there. And somebody's, oh, they didn't have the money. Oh, come on now. They had ways of getting money, and they had people that would give them money, and get in the car and drive if you have to, because, there's no reason that they shouldn't have been on a plane. I mean, Chris's dad was out there. So it says Bella Marie, 12, 17, 14, 5 years old. And another creator said too, that we're, as creators, we are fighting for justice, and we're doing this, around Bella Marie's birthday. I mean, wouldn't it be great if we find more truth on her birthday? I love that thought. And it says Celeste Catherine, so it's just kind of chicken scratch on these pieces of paper. We're at 187. And it says Frank, 910, Sandra Rusick. And then it says something. Then it says school today, Primrose, ERIC, not there. But it doesn't look like it says Eric, but it says ERIC. And then Officer Scott Coonrod. And then Supplemental 43, same thing, more of this handwriting, chicken scratch, which I have really bad handwriting too. 2 pharmacists have asked me if I'm a physician. That's how bad my handwriting in it is. And then it says Lavelle, Texas, cloud-based, Addie Maloney, boss, Chase, USAA. Discovery, page 233, Supplemental 44, Davies. So this is by Bradley Davies. 9/1/2018, 9:45 in the morning at 335 5th Street. Okay, I'm gonna knock it off. The thing is dark and it's shut again. Come back here. You mofo. Okay. Well, here we are. On page 189 of 1,960. And 82. 1, What? On 8/22/18, I received an email from Taylor Welch. In the email, Taylor stated, "After reading the affidavit, I went through my photos. I've texted Shanann in the past. I don't know if these would be helpful. Below are photos of Cece and the baby monitor sleeping. Attached to the email were 3 photos of what appeared to be a monitor screen showing a child sleeping in a crib." So, and then it says, "I was advised by Detective Baumhofer to forward the email to him. I forwarded the email to Detective Baumhofer. Nothing further at this time." Okay, so the affidavit for arrest must have been posted after Chris was arrested. And what would prompt her to say that? I'm wondering. Discovery page 234. And it says supplemental 44 Davies. We're on 189. From Brad Davies, sent Wednesday, August 22, 2018. So here we are in typing, not in chicken scratch interpretations anymore. Thank God. To Dave Baumhofer. Subject forward, Shanann Watts text screenshots. From Taylor Welch, Tuesday, August 21st, 2018 at 10:05. To Brad Davies regarding Shanann Watts text. So, these were sent from Taylor Welch, and both Brad Davies and Detective Baumhofer have received them. And what they're saying here is what I just said about that. And then Brad Davies wrote back to Taylor. Okay. Now, this is sent on August 17th, 2018 at 8:49. Brad Davies wrote, "Thank you. So sorry for your loss. As I said, if investigators have any questions for you, they will be in touch. Regard, Brad Davies." So there must be a chain that we're going to find here where they did something else, and the images are not shown here. And they are here. Here we go. Like I said, I have not peeked on anything, so I see things as I'm showing them to you, if you're able to see them. Okay, so there's... Why would she post this on Facebook? That she has a blanket, a full adult-sized pillow in blankets in a crib, and she's in a SID support group. So what do SID support groups say? Absolutely nothing loose and no pillows. So what? She was showing the SID support group what she was doing wrong? Geez, all these blankets. You failed the support group. And Cece's legs, those hips. That's like hip dysplasia the way she's sleeping. Holy moly. She's sleeping on her stomach on a full grown ass adult sized pillow and another loose blanket. That's a recipe for SIDS. Was she in the SID support group to find out how to cause SIDS? Fuck. And then we see this, and we see that the temperature says 66 degrees Fahrenheit on there. And we have talked about how odd it would be to have your baby sleeping in 66 degrees. I am a hot-blooded person, and I love to exist at 67 degrees where it's nice and cool, but I never let my babies sleep that cool because they're babies, and they would just never have. Yeah, she's on a full-grown pillow. Now, the one exception, if a child does have GERD, you can put like a pillow underneath the sheet so that it is raised if the baby can be put to sleep at an angle, so you can help that GERD. But that is to be under the sheet, so there's no possibility of the baby being in their face in the pillow and getting too much carbon dioxide coming back or face down. This is absurd. I have birthed 6 children out of my vagine. Well, the twins were C-section. So, my upper and lower vagine, I guess. Um, so I had my first baby in 1989, and my twins were born in, oh Lord, 2002. So I can tell you, even then, in 1989, even, we knew not to do this kind of stuff because this is a recipe for SIDS. What the? Okay, so, and why would she be putting them on the internet? And then didn't anybody on the internet say, these are really dangerous things you're doing with your baby, ma'am? She's like, I know, but you know what? I was told to because of baby wise, which I've already debuked. If you believe that she believed that she was finding this stuff in baby wise, please go back to my earlier videos and how I debunked the baby wise urban legend in the Watts case, because I ordered the Baby Wise books to see what she was seeing, and there was nothing in those books that said anything near what she was saying. In fact, quite the opposite. So, no, this woman was obnoxious and negligent in her parenting. I'm disgusted with what I just saw in those pictures. I'm going to take another bite of a cracker to that. Now we're talking to Ivan Perez. 9/2/2018. 2058, so 8:58. On 8/16/2018 at approximately 20:41 hours, so 8:41 to us civilians, I arrived at the McDonald's to see if they had the surveillance video ready. I spoke with a different manager than before, and she advised that she did not know anything about surveillance video being requested. The manager advised the supervisor is the only person with access to the surveillance video system, and they would not be back until later in the week. I asked the manager if she would pass down the information on the video surveillance that was needed, and she agreed. What were they trying to do? Get video of the chicken McNuggets that Christopher Watts said that he was accustomed to have thrown at him? I mean, what are we doing here with this? Anyway, you need the McVideo. I get it, sir. So, on 8/17/2018, I received a voicemail from the McDonald's supervisor advising he needed more information on what camera angles are the ones that were needed. Seems like they have a little communication issue here. Okay, so on 8/19/2018, I asked Officer Dahl if he would go to McDonald's to speak with a supervisor and inform him of the dates and times that were needed from the surveillance footage. Officer Dahl advised me that the supervisor uploaded as much surveillance footage that would fit in a flash drive but did not have enough memory and needed additional flash drives. Officer Dahl advised me he dropped off additional flash drives at the McDonald's. Well, that was nice of him. That they went and got some flash drives for McDonald's. Officer Dahl placed the flash drive that contained the contained footage in my mailbox. On 8/24/2018, at approximately 20:38 hours, I arrived at the McDonald's and spoke with the manager. I asked the manager if she knew if the other flash drives were ready. The manager advised she was not sure what I was talking about and called her supervisor on the phone. The supervisor advised he did not know what camera angles were the ones that needed to be in the flash drive. The supervisor advised the cameras that they had pointed outside do not record any footage. I advised the supervisor that I would advise him if the inside camera footage would be needed. On 8/30/2018, I asked Detective Baumhover if the needed any surveillance video from the inside of the McDonald's. Detective Baumhover advised me to get video of all day 8/13/2018. I went to the McDonald's again and spoke with the manager. The manager contacted her supervisor and he advised me the video on 8/13 was already deleted because it was not saved. I will attempt to contact the security surveillance system to see if they are able to somehow retrieve that video footage. That the flash drive had video was submitted into evidence. Nothing further. Officer Perez, badge number 987, Frederick Police Department. And I mean, honestly, can we all understand this? If you've ever had to deal with McDonald's, I mean, my inner Karen has to come out at the McDonald's sometimes because they are kind of McAsshole-ish sometimes at McDonald's. And if you've ever had to deal with them and trying to figure something out, that it doesn't surprise me that this is the way that it all went down. Is that you go there, no one knows what they're talking about, blah, 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 blah. I cannot believe that the local McDonald's, all of the staff did not know that this was going on, though, and how they seem to be less than helpful with procuring information that could be helpful in the city's biggest news story to ever occur. But like I say, it doesn't surprise me. But you know what? My first job was at the McDonald's in my town. I've explained before, I have a problem with I'm busty, and I'm kind of built like Dolly Parton. And so when I was 15, my first job was McDonald's, and I was like 15 and literally 85 pounds and 4'11", but busty for my age or for my size. I told them that like I needed, like a large shirt, and they looked at me because, I'm a munchkin, and they were like, yeah, and they gave me like the small. Well, I put it on, and at the McDonald's where I worked, they started everybody at the grill, and you move forward so that you would understand the menu when you're taking orders and what's on it, because that's the way you should do things. They don't do it that way now, and that's why the whole entire world of fast food is screwed up. But the seams under my arms busted open. So like the whole armpit on each side tore because my teenage chesticles were that big, and the cooks were like laughing at me and everything, and I was like, I said I needed a bigger shirt. Oh my, I'm so embarrassed. What should I do? They're like, oh, we'll just get through this lunch rush. It was just terrible. My McDonald's career didn't last long, only a couple weeks, because I got a better job at the Taco Time. Taco Time is something in the Pacific Northwest. It's like a cross between Chipotle and a Taco Bell, but everything is made from scratch and really cool, except for, like I've talked about this before, that there is some filler in the meat, like 5 pounds of ground beef. Once you mix this magic spice mix in, becomes 15 pounds. But the chicken and everything is literally, we'd hand trim that. It's from Tyson Meats. It's just really good stuff. The beans from pinto beans. We put, garlic and onions in them and made them in the big steam jackets in the morning. And it was really good. But they were offering me like a quarter more and a free meal each day from the Taco Time. I'm like, yeah. So I ended up working at Taco Time, off and on for like the next 8 years, because I did that in between being a CNA and then working. And then again, I got my job at the hospital and everything else. Oh, I didn't need to, but I worked my fast food things, so I'm not talking down on this, but it greatly offends me when I have been in that position, and I do know how things work and why some of them have the Mick attitude sometimes when they've obviously screwed up. Doesn't need to be a Mick attitude. Just give me my Mick shit, okay? And like I say, I can't believe that they deleted the video that they needed because they had asked for it. When you have police coming in asking for video surveillance, you would think that that would be something you would pass on and be careful of, but apparently they don't care. Or they figured that the Tam burglar already had anything she needed. Did you guys see the outfit that Dave put on the Tam burglar? He put like a little kind of like 1930s swimsuit style thing on her. Um, I saw it on his little collage. It looked real cute. Like Tam burglar. So we're on page 195 of 1960, supplemental 46, Baumhover. And we're in this supplemental report now, and it says no property, supplemental report, no property, FPD. And it's Dave Baumhover. And it's the date of this date is weird because it says 8/4/2018, where it probably should say 14. So either that's blurred out or, yeah, this is very interesting. 9:37 a.m., 333 5th Street. Like I say, it says 8/4/2018. There's no 1 there. There's 8/4/2018. Interesting. Last name, first, blah, blah, blah. Victim, individual, Shanann Catherine. And Saratoga Trail, blah, 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 blah. Black hair, hazel eyes, 5'5", 148. And then it goes down to Watts Bella Marie. Same thing. And Celeste Catherine. Same thing. We've seen these several times before. And then Christopher Lee as the arrestee. And then let's see here. So what this is going to is it says the following information was documented at the time it was gathered. The date of this report is not indicative of when the investigation occurred. On 8/13/18 at approximately 1340 hours, so 140, Officer Coonrod was dispatched to 2825 Saratoga Trail, Frederick, Colorado, 80516 on a check well-being call. The reporting party, Nicole Utoft, called about her friend Shanann Watts, 1/10/1984. Nicole stated she dropped Shanann off at her residence located at 2825 Saratoga Trail, Colorado, 80516, around 1:48 hours, 8/13/18, after returning from a business trip that took place in Arizona. Nicole stated Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant, bullshit, and was not feeling well during the trip. Later that morning, 8/13/18, Nicole became concerned because Shanann was not answering her phone calls or text messages and also missed her doctor's appointment that was scheduled for 10. Okay. There we go. The doctor's appointment was scheduled for 10 o'clock. Okay? With the initial call when we found out yesterday in this, when we found it in here that she called at 8 in the morning, the doctor's appointment wasn't even until 10. So, this is interesting. Trying to find where I wrote that down because me see. Okay, here it is. So if I go back to page 122, um, Officer Patricia Cochran said Monday 8/13 to 18, 9 o'clock a.m. was the first time that Nicole called. Now here we go on page 197 of 1960. Discovery 241. Doc appointment. So here we have this Baumhover. What in the world? Okay. Now I have it. Now I have these two things that I can work with. Okay. Because I was thinking, okay, if her doctor's appointment was, 8 o'clock, then that would make sense. But no, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Because Nicole called in the morning. She called and spoke with Officer Patricia Cochran at 9 a.m. So at that point, why was she so worried? Why couldn't she think that, well, maybe she's taking a shower and a shit and everything, and oh, well, she hadn't shit in 15 days, so I guess, yeah, why would she have taken, needed to be taking a shit and it was otherwise occupied, couldn't be on her phone. But why wouldn't she have thought she's getting the girls ready and everything because she has her doctor's appointment? What made her call in at 9 o'clock in the morning? And why didn't an officer respond at 9 o'clock in the morning? And who would start thinking something is wrong in that short of a period of time? Because she dropped her off. Okay. This is just blowing my mind. So later that morning, Nicole became concerned because Shanann was not answering her phone calls or text messages and also missed her doctor's appointment that was scheduled for 10. Nicole went to Shanann's residence located at 2825 Saratoga Trail, Frederick, Colorado, 80516, and discovered her car in the garage with car seats positioned inside of it. How could she see that? There's the windows in the garage, but there's no way with a vehicle you could see it. So even if her son stood up on the back, how could he see that the car was in the garage with the car seats positioned inside of it? There's no way. She broke in and was looking around. Her nosy ass was doing this with a nosy Nate, I bet you. Note, Shanann and her husband, Christopher Watts, herein referred to as Watts, have two daughters who are 3 and 4 years old. Nicole attempted to enter the front door of 2825 Saratoga Trail, Frederick, Colorado, 80516, but a latch prevented it from opening more than 3 inches. Oh, come on. Anybody knows how to undo that. So what, the door was unlocked or she had the code? You pull the door closer and then you undo the latch with your finger, duh. Which she knows. But anyway, and then they probably relatched it when they went back out the garage. And that's why the garage door said it. Shanann and her husband, Christopher Watts, here referred to as Watts, have two daughters who are 3 and 4. Nicole attempted to enter the front door at 2825 Saratoga Trail, Frederick, Colorado, but a latch prevented it from opening more than 3 inches. Nicole called Watts and requested he come home to check on Shanann, as she believed Shanann may be suffering or passed out due to some medical conditions. Okay, that's when you call 911 and you say those things and they send a freaking ambulance or what this, oh my God. The call CAD notes excerpt are as followed. Concerned about her friend, 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well. She is having issues with her husband as well. Not responding to text messages or phone calls. Shanann Watts, UNK, DOB, so unknown date of birth, late 20s, early 30s. 1339, 813, 2018. Mitchell S., reporting person, dropped her off at her house at 0200 this a.m. 1339, 813, 2018. Mitchell S., her vehicle, white Lexus, is parked in the garage, not answering the door either. Oh, wow. So that's at 1. Man, people, I can't imagine how people would actually even think where I am, because I don't answer my phone. I don't look at my texts sometimes. I don't listen to my voicemails for weeks on end. I mean, the only person, and I do mean the only person, who knows where I am is my husband. And sometimes he doesn't even know where I am, because I'll go wandering around the mall somewhere and I keep my phone ringer off and everything. You wouldn't know I was missing until I came back and told you I was. That's how that would be with me. So discovery page 242. And here we are at 1339:51, Mitchell S. She also had a doctor's appointment today that she didn't show up for. How do you fucking know? At 1341, 813, Mitchell S. I don't know what Mitchell S. is. Her husband's name is Chris Watts. Told reporting person Shanann took other 2 kids on a play date. Responding person doesn't believe this because her vehicle and her car seats are still at the house. Upon arrival, Officer Coonrod checked all windows and doors, including the rear slider.